Ahead on American Sunrise, immigration crackdown. The Department of Homeland Security announcing a massive illegal immigration operation in Chicago called Midway Blitz. Get ready, liberals. Will the National Guard also be sent to the Windy City as well? We have the latest. Plus, Shutdown Politics. Congressional leaders from both parties reportedly coming together on efforts to avoid a government shutdown. Yeah, we'll see about that. What proposals are on the table? We'll take a look. And ceasefire possibilities. Israel says it's ready to accept President Trump's ceasefire deal. But what about Hamas? Those stories and more as American Sunrise starts on a Tuesday right now. Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. G. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Want to bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C., and Terrence Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen. It's a sunny day in the Palm Beaches. It is 76 degrees here. We don't get this kind of beautiful weather very often, so we're very excited about this.
Wonderful. Good for you.
I can tell y'all are just thrilled for us. Just so
David's like, good for you.
Well, good for you.
It's a little bit of fall happening here in Palm Beach. It's very nice, T.
Well, congratulations that you guys are getting some of the seasons. It's not just hot,
we don't get seasons.
that you're getting a little bit of the fall season here.
Yeah, not
so
really.
Congratulations
We can pretend.
there.
Yeah.
I know it, right? Hey, guys, look. There's some interesting happenings in my hometown of Chicago. Operation Midway Blitz, as it's being called, is underway. It's basically the Trump immigration crackdown in that city. In fact, we've got some video of some of the arrests that have been made. Obviously, there's talk about the potential of the National Guard being called in, but President Trump confirming that Governor J.B. Pritzker at this point hasn't asked for help, so that would be the start. But here's some of the video of some of the arrests being made and amid these crackdowns. And David, this really is kind of the next step, if you will, in the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration, particularly in Chicago.
And let's call this for what it is. Democrats are basically saying, how dare you arrest that guy? I mean, that's basically what they're saying. They're saying, stop arresting rapists and convicted sex offenders and drug dealers and all of these nefarious people. How dare you come into our city and make it safer? Think about it. I mean, that is the tenable position of Democrats today, Gina, and that's why this type of stuff is going to be ultimately successful, even though we hear a lot of noise from the legacy media about this. The truth of the matter is Trump is tracking with the majority of the American people on this.
Yeah, well, and then, I just got back from the state of California, where I want to say they honestly believe perfectly functioning adults, right, believe that Trump's whole agenda is going into people's homes and taking migrants who've lived here for 30 years, or if you're a first generation immigrant, not illegal immigrant, or second generation immigrant, you might be next on the list. They really believe this, you guys. They don't watch any independent news. The things that they understand are so convoluted and backward. And this isn't everyone. There are great patriots in the southern part of California, especially the Central Valley, amazing patriots. That's obviously who we hung with part of the time. But we did go to the coast. And when we got to the coast, I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. And I know you guys hear this, David, you hear it in D.C., people honestly believing this rhetoric about it being the arrest of, immigrants who've been here forever. They're intentionally confusing the story so that people are all afraid in these areas. And it's absurd.
Yeah, I know we got to get to our guest, but you asked me that, Gina, and you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, literally an example from just within the last 48 hours, we had a call from someone who's DACA, okay, that we know well, and she was like, "Well, wait a minute, what's going on? They're coming after me. I understand they're coming after my family. They're coming after no, settle down." Now, having said that, don't be hanging around a convicted rapist or a drug dealer because you might get swept up. Now that is a potential possibility if you don't have your papers, so to speak. But no, they're not coming for those type of folks, even though the liberal media would like to say that is who they're going for. Now, if they're swept up in the raid, that's a separate matter. But that's not who they're intentionally going for.
Not at all. And in fact, immigrants will be safer than they've ever been in this country because it's their communities that have been ravaged by illegal immigration. Today's Bible verse, we got to get to it, guys. Yes, it goes like this. It's from Psalm 25, verses 4 and 5. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Lead me in your truth and teach me. For you are the God of my salvation. On you I wait all the day. Waiting is always the hardest part, guys, isn't it? Department of Homeland Security announced it's launched a new immigration crackdown, as we were just discussing, this in Chicago, T's old stomping ground. The department says it is being called Operation Midway Blitz, as he said, and added, this ICE operation will target the criminal illegal aliens who flocked to Chicago and Illinois because they knew Governor Pritzker and his sanctuary policies would protect them and allow them to roam free on American streets. President Trump and Secretary Noem stand with the victims of illegal alien crime. That would be namely legal immigrants, by the way, while Governor Pritzker stands with criminal illegal aliens. For more, let's bring in Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. Congressman, you're from the great state of Missouri. No bias on my part whatsoever, thinking Missouri is about the coolest place ever. We get all 4 seasons there, by the way. And Congressman, in a place like Missouri, you really don't have to worry about this, but if you do travel to any of these sanctuary states, as I said, I just got back from California, and you go to New York, you go to Chicago, you see the places where they've sought sanctuary, and it is a dreadful comparison to places like Missouri that have cracked down on the crime of illegal immigration.
Well, thank God we have a governor and had our past governor, Mike Parsons. Now we have Mike Kehoe that are very tough on crime. Mike Kehoe won basically on one of his planks in his platform was to crack down on crime. I think arresting, detaining criminal illegal aliens is the right thing to do. That's what 77 million Americans voted for Donald J. Trump for, is to round up the illegal aliens who Joe Biden recklessly let into our great nation to rip apart the fabric of our nation and send them back home. There's nothing inhumane about that. They should not have been let into our country to begin with, and it's time for them to go home. Our Homeland Security Department has been trying to work with them on a voluntary basis to voluntarily self-deport and repatriate themselves, and then they would have a shot at coming back. But some are insistent on not doing that. They want to cheat the system. They want to cheat others by cutting in line to get here in the first place. It's time to go home. President Trump is welcome. Is a welcome sight to make sure that happens.
Congressman, good to see you. Terrence here. I want to play this soundbite for you. It's basically President Trump saying the country is stronger when our faith is strong.
America was founded on faith, as we know, and I've been saying it for a long time. And when faith gets weaker, our country seems to get weaker. When faith gets stronger, as it is right now, we're having a very good period of time. After some rough years, good things happen for our country. It's amazing the way it seems to work that way. And under the Trump administration, we're defending our rights and restoring our identity as a nation under God. We are one nation under God, and we always will be.
While a return to faith seems to me to be just part of the equation, what other elements do you see necessary in order to return us to the standard that we once held for our country?
Well, it's not just faith. I think it's a return to God, God Almighty. We should not be afraid to say that name. Ronald Reagan, some 40 years ago, said words to this effect. It's it's time to reassert our trust in God. It's time to realize that we need him more than he needs us. It's time to turn to God for the healing of America. This nation needs healing. We have a lot of wounds from this past administration that President Trump is taking bold action to try to heal those wounds. It's going to take some tough action, but it's also going to take, I think, a faith, a return to God, realizing that we would not be here without the providence and protection of God Almighty. That is one of the reasons our founding fathers established this great country, is a reliance on God. You see it in the Declaration of Independence, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's an honor to be an American. We should never forget where those rights come from.
Yeah, and Congressman, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this, because you've had conversations with Trump about Make America Great Again, and you talk about how it's not so much, I mean, it is about Make America Great Again, but it's also Make Americans Great Again. It's something that you and I just spoke about yesterday, or exchanged information about yesterday. Talk about that. I think that was extremely important to understand.
Yeah, several times I've spoken with President Trump about this, and when he was running for office, when I visited him at Mar-a-Lago, I told him, I want to help you make America great again, but I also want to help you make Americans great again. I think one of the things we're missing right now is hope for tomorrow, not the kind of bogus hope and change that President Obama tried to promulgate here in America, but real hope in who we are as a nation under God. And I think it's important that we return patriotism to America. I love what Pete Hegseth is doing, our Secretary of War, who is really reinstilling the fighter ethos, the warrior ethos to our defense. More people are signing up now. We have new companies coming into Fort Leonard Wood of trainees there at the Army base. It's encouraging to see a return, and young people getting involved on the college level. They're like on fire for America, and it's time we recapture that. All of us recapture that patriotism and love for our great nation.
Fort Leonard Wood, my dad was stationed there, Congressman.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us and for all of your great leadership and representing us so well from the Midwest. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, coming up, we're going to check out the hottest headlines from the RAV newsroom with you-know-who, T. Bates. Also later, the head of the UN nuclear watchdog says there is hope for Iran's nuclear inspection talk coming soon. Can they be trusted, though? I don't know. We're going to assess that in American Sunrise. Stay with us.